Let's move on to our next panel for the day. Let me introduce the topic first. Burdened under her household chores, office related work, and caregiving responsibilities, a woman hardly gets time to balance her physical and mental health and work for her personal betterment. Our first panelist is Ms.Sonali Dutta, the founder head of Success Studios, holds extensive experience in teaching, HR, inclusivity, and knowledge management across various verticals. Joining her, we have Ms.Namrata Jain, who is counseling psychologist, TEDx speaker, global life coach. Her contribution and inputs on mental and psychological wellness in Mumbai Mirror Times need no introduction. She was awarded with the Most Promising Counselor and Psychologist of the Year 2018 award. Last but not the least in any capacity, we have Mrs. Kavita Devgan, who is an eminent writer, nutritionist, and weight management consultant. She is an acclaimed nutritionist with 20 plus years of experience as a weight loss and holistic health consultant and has healed about several thousand lives. She propagates practical, effective, and delicious ways to achieve a healthy lifestyle. Her books have been endorsed by Pulitzer Prize winning authors and are widely acclaimed. We are delighted to have you all with us today. I welcome you all with folded hands. Let's start our discussion with Madam Sonali Dutta. Ma'am, does the anatomy of the female make her, or the traditional conditioning that she has undergone frames her? What do you think?
Yeah, very interesting question. Firstly, I would like
Yes,
to
ma'am.
thank Siddharthji, Preeti, and
Thank you.
Jiva doing a phenomenal job, and of course the great panelists that we have, the speakers that we have had since morning. It's really wonderful to be amongst the dignitaries and great speakers. With regards to your question, Preeti, it's a combination of both the human anatomy and also the traditional practices,
Condition.
rituals that a girl is, kind of imbued in right from her birth. I'm the third child of the family, okay, and I'm the third girl child, right? So when I was born, of course, I can think what went through my mother's mind, and I kept on asking my mother in time immemorial that, did it really feel bad that the third time a girl child was born in the family? So you know what, these are things which we have been seeing in our society. Like today we are starting with initiatives like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, like giving encouragement to women to go ahead and do things. But really look forward to the day where a woman is not answerable for what she desires and what she wants to do, what rituals she needs to practice, when does she want to need to be back home when she goes out in the evening. Our society needs to be as safe as that for her to be comfortable in her anatomy or in the rituals which are there practiced by anyone. It should be by choice and not by force.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I agree to it. Like the conditioning is so imbibed in our mindset that we do not even realize that, and we
True.
just follow the tradition.
Absolutely.
So, moving on to Namrata, ma'am. Um, do you think that the need of physical fitness has reached Indian women, or the awareness has created a perpetual anxiety that makes them even more tedious mentally? Also, do you think there is a need for mental fitness as well?
Great. Thank you so much for inviting me, firstly. Thank you so much,
Welcome, ma'am.
Siddharthji. Thank you, Preeti ji. Thank you, Anushka ji, for coordinating this whole thing and bringing me in. It's a pleasure being here. Probably I feel like I'm one of the youngest out here, but it's very nice to hear such amazing thought processes from our ancient Indian culture to the current modern culture that probably I'm born with and I am living. But a lot of ancient cultures was something that I also believe in. Coming to the question that you asked me, that a lot of us, I think, especially the current generation, is a lot of a social media savvy kind of generation, right? The social media, the Instagrams, Facebook, putting up images, all of that. Physical fitness definitely has been something that we've been focusing on for years together. But social media, somewhere, because there's a lot of comparison between people that's happening, the anxiety and the stress that comes along with it has only been rising throughout. I have a lot of clients who come to my counseling practice, and I often see young girls who are about 20, 22, and with extremely low self esteem, with so much of inferiority complex, only because they're constantly comparing themselves with other women, with people on social media who are posting images where a lot of celebrities in between spoke about it, where how all a lot of images that they put up are actually edited images. If you see the reality versus the imagery that you see online, is far different. And a lot of youth fails to realize that in the beginning, until it is brought to their notice by somebody who they really look up to. So anxiety and stress has definitely been coming along with the focus on fitness, but however in a very different way. Fitness in itself is definitely very, very important, and as a mental health practitioner, I tell people to focus on physical fitness a lot, because it releases a lot of hormones and endorphins inside, which help us lead to better moods and a better lifestyle also overall. But at the same time, because of the other side of it, because there's so much being put up in the media, and we all somewhere are getting hired by the media all the time, we see that a lot of anxiety is coming along with it. Now, coming to the second part, mental fitness is also extremely important. They say as much as physical fitness is important, mental fitness is equally important, right? Because mind and body both work in sync with each other. And if mind is not in place, your body is going to suffer. And if body is not in place, your mind is going to suffer. So both of them, the combination of the two is together extremely important in today's time. Practice your yoga, do your meditation, have your self love time. Self care is extremely important. After the pandemic, I think the kind of stressors that we all are facing, because we are suddenly getting back to life with the masks on, somewhere back of the mind, there's slight anxiety within all of us of what if we come in contact with people who already have COVID-19. So all of this together, somewhere mental health needs to become a priority. I always say that, you don't go to a counselor or a life coach when you have a mental illness. You go to a counselor or a life coach when you have smaller challenges coming repeatedly in your life. Please consult somebody who can help you out to look at things in a different way, help you resolve them in a different way. Because once you change your perspective towards a certain thing, you get a lot more solutions to the same problem. Don't wait for that problem to keep recurring, where it becomes a pattern and then eventually leads to a mental illness. A mental illness doesn't just arise. There's a lot of backlog and baggage to it that comes along with it. And after a lot of years of you going through that trauma or the emotional ups and downs that you're going through, it eventually leads to a mental illness. So, make sure that you encourage people to seek help sooner in life, at a younger age, rather than it reaching a stage where it becomes very tough. Often we have clients where they've reached a stage where medication therapy, despite of that, it takes them a year or 2 years to get back in place, which is ideally, if they would come earlier in time, it would be much more easier for them, right? So physical health is as important as mental health, and mental health is as important as physical health. That's about it from my side.
Yes, ma'am. So, as you have mentioned about the pandemic in your answer, I would like to ask Kavita, ma'am. A nutritious diet is definitely the need of the day. COVID-19 pandemic has reinforced that fact, compelling us to think more about our intake of nutritious and immunity boosting food. Is it that more nutritious food is available in surplus in nature? Do we take it that we have to turn back to nature and natural foods for boosting immunity?
Hi, thank you so much.
Hello, ma'am.
Very, very glad to be here today. And I've been listening to a lot of talks since morning, and very, very enlightening actually. Couple of them that I attended, and a lot of things have stuck in my mind. So if you don't mind, before I start answering your question, there's a little point I wanted to raise. Both
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Urvashi and also Ms. Raja Lakshmi I was listening to both of them. Both of them raised a very important point that a lot of laws in the world or in the society are made by men, right? So
Yes,
they do not particularly suit the requirements or the conditions of women.
yes,
I 100% agree with that. And things are beginning to change, but we're really far, far behind in that. I just wanted to add here that in science too, frankly, it has been exactly the same situation. You'll be very surprised to know I was when I was researching for a story, and I found out that even till about a couple of decades back, the equipment for heart surgery, something as profound and as important as that, were made to fit the requirements of a male, patient going for surgery. They were not right for women because it was presumed or enough research was not done to consider that even women or females could get a heart attack. So what I'm trying to say is this is an all pervading problem which is there in every single aspect of the society. So now coming to the pandemic, so I definitely agree with both of them, and I thought I must add this point as well here. Coming to the pandemic, it has been a harrowing experience. Absolutely no doubt about that. We've all gone through a gamut of emotions, frustration, mood swings, emotional, of course, and physical. So we've all gone through that. So there have been a lot of negatives, a lot has been spoken about it, a lot has been written about it. But I personally am an optimist at heart, and I've always looked at things in a positive way. Personally, I feel there have been a lot of positives as well from the pandemic. And I would like to celebrate those today as we talk. First, positive has been the fact that family has come back into vogue. It is looked at as a stronger and an important entity, and that is a very, very big positive, I feel. The second, even more important one, is that we've all realized the value of health. It has become a priority. Focus has come back to health from just maybe say fat diets and weight loss. Processed food has become almost a no-no for almost everybody I know now, because we've been literally weaned off it for almost 7, 8, 9 months. So
yes,
that
ma'am.
has been a big,
Absolutely.
big positive, I feel. And another huge benefit or a plus, I would say, has been that the focus has come back on the traditional rules of eating. We've
Yes,
all
ma'am.
realized, and by default or the hard way, that it is the traditional rules of eating which actually stand us in good stead, and they are the ones that can save our soul and body both. Through the pandemic, we realized that, and that is a big realization we must not let go of, I feel. So all through the pandemic, the biggest buzzword was, it's a very easy guess, immunity. That was the word
Immunity.
everyone was talking about. Everyone wanted to score immunity by hook or by crook. And everyone realized that it's not a quick fix. It's something you have to work on, slowly over the time. And that's what everyone did. And guess what? We all turned to traditional foods for that. So this focus on immunity taught us that the stuff that we've always known but ignored, other rules are all very important, sleeping right, maintaining your weight, getting enough sun, exercising enough, all those stand. But we realized that the most important thing to make sure that the immunity stays up to mark so that we can really save ourselves from maybe this pandemic or whatever else the universe throws at us next is that we have to eat right. It's as simple as that. That's a realization that has come the hard way, but it has come. And it has led us back to the nature in a beautiful way. I personally feel I feel very happy when now someone just calls me up and says that they want a consultation just to seek health, to get healthier, compared to pre-pandemic when people would just call up for weight loss. So there's a huge change in the mindset here, which I am absolutely enjoying as a nutritionist, because I've always believed that that should be the focus. Nutrition should be the focus. Weight loss is a side effect which happens on the side in any case. As far as the natural solutions to immunity are concerned, those words have, everyone has been talking about them for a really, really long time. The same foods that our dadi nanis used to vouch for have come back in the fore, and they have come back with a bang, because everyone realized that there are no side effects, and they are going to build our body from deep inside in a very, very, very strong way. You know, words like ashwagandha, giloy, tulsi, haldi, black pepper, all of these have come back in vogue. So all of these are simple words that were alien to a lot of people pre-pandemic, I would say last year, but today they are on everyone's vocabulary. So my
Yes, ma'am.
personal request and advice to everybody would be that this is a very hard-earned lesson. We've all learned this the very hard way, and we must hold on to it and make sure that it is passed on to the next generation. These are not words to forget very soon. You know, turmeric, haldi, giloy, black pepper, ginger, garlic, all of these are very, very easily available. They're all natural foods that do us a lot of good. So if we, forget pandemic is not going away anytime soon, but if at all and when it does go away, we must not let go of these foods. I
Yes,
personally
ma'am.
believe that that has been the biggest positive of the pandemic for me. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. I completely agree with you, ma'am. And though we are short of time and we have to like close this panel, but I have one intriguing question that just came to my mind. If you all, because you're the experts, if you all can just like in very short tell me, like you're the experts in health and nutrition. So is there a point of time when you guys like uh, I mean, I'm talking both physically and mentally. When it came to your mind and you became like you needed some motivation and help, like I would not say help, but yes, if
No,
you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I think go ahead, Sonali ji, please.
so just wanted to share, I completely resonated with Kavita when she said that we need to go back to natural food. In fact, I would go another level up, in context to that today doctors are not there to write prescriptions. Doctors are primarily like telling us how to eat, because food is the medicine, right? So if you go by WHO's guideline of health, it says it's a balance of your physical, mental, emotional, and social kind of balance. So if that is not in order, then definitely just lack of disease doesn't make us healthy. To answer your question, Preeti, when I like engage in leadership trainings or executive coaching, and like life coaching to that extent, my biggest element has been that every coach, because leaders are supposed to be coaches to their employees, their team members, right? So everyone requires a mentor, a coach, a motivational person in their life, right? No matter how
Yes, ma'am.
evolved or wise they are in their personal lives and so on and so forth, we all have a tendency to lose it at times, and that's when we need another person to be by our sides and really support us. So I'm sure that not only me but all of us have had our moments of weakness, and yes, we do have our people that we can reach out to, and we should nurture them in context to building our network, in context to reaching out socially, and at the same time prioritizing our own health and nutrition, which I
Yes,
like go with my fellow panelists Namrata and Kavita. Wonderful hearing you guys talk about things that we commonly relate to. So that's
So
what I feel from my side, Preeti.
thank you,
yeah,
ma'am.
no, absolutely. I think I totally agree with Sonali ji on this, and I always say that a therapist needs a therapist too. As much as we help people deal with the challenges that they are facing, the times when they are at their lowest, but at the same time, we are as human as they are. We have our personal life as well. At our professional front, we are, of course, all the time helping people out, but at our personal front, we can have challenges too. I have a therapist for my own self who I consult, sometimes once a week, sometimes once in 2 weeks, as and when I require. And similarly, I even nowadays I actually tell people this, that you must, like you have a family physician for yourself. It's important to have a family counselor or somebody, even if it's an individual personal counselor for yourself, somebody who you can go to as and when required, right? Because stressors only keep increasing, they're not reducing in any way. In the olden days, you used to have a guru shishya relationship, right? Nowadays, of course, gurus are not somebody who we wish to go to, because all of us have our own resistances towards it. When I mean it's the kind of spiritual gurus we have, we all, of course, find our gurus in different people who we really look up to. And sometimes this could be our parents, sometimes this could be a friend, this could be anybody who you look up to and who you feel helps you come back on track and get aligned to your own self. I tell my clients as well, that have that one person who you go to who's absolutely non-judgmental. That's one of the most important
Yes,
things
yes.
of having somebody who's non-judgmental. If they're going to judge you, then you're eventually not going to get through where you are, stuck at. So that's one thing, which is something that I definitely, it's been, I think, about 4 or 5 years. I started my practice 8 years back, but it's been about 5 years, 3 years down the lane, I realized that no, you must have one for your own self, Namrata. And that's where I took this step. And since then, in the whole psychologist community or the mental health practitioners community, I've kept reiterating this, that please have one for yourself, have a therapist or a life coach for yourself. I don't have just one, but I have a professional mentor, I have a personal mentor, and I have a therapist for myself. So all three, because every day there are new challenges that come in at different fronts, and you need to make sure that you are first in place. Only then you can be able to help other people. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It has been like really enlightening, and you know, uh, I really enjoy talking to all of you. Thank you so much, ma'am, to be here on our platform today. Moving
Likewise,
on.
Preeti, it's
Thank
an
you.
honor
Yes,
being
ma'am.
here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Lovely. It was a lovely, lovely discussion, I think. I mean, quick and salient points, as they say, just rush through the thing, but every single point it resonated. And I hope it resonates with the people who listen in as well. And there are a lot of takeaways for everyone. Very glad to
Yes,
hear.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.